What's up, it's your boy John Retrieve, IFBB Pro, Mr. Tell Like It Is. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Super Subs Explained Easy. I hope you guys enjoyed yesterday's episode talking about NK677. Before we get started, guys, I just want to make sure we remind you that this is purely entertainment. Don't take anything I say seriously. Don't do what I say do or do what I've done before. Whatever. Just sit back, relax, enjoy this because it's pure entertainment. Anyway, having said that, today, guys, we're going to go over GW 501516, or as you guys may know it as Cardinine. Cardinine? Anyway, so what is Cardinine? What is GW 501516? Well, it's basically used, or it was created to combat dyslipidemia. What's dyslipidemia? Well, it's basically when you have way too many fat lipids in your blood vessels. So a way to combat that was to create this drug. Now, due to certain clinical trials and whatnot that, happened, they found that, cancer in rats or mice, it basically didn't pass clinical trials, and basically that's why you have it on the shelves as for research purposes. So that's why you can use these type of drugs. When you're talking about like SARMs, glucose inhibitors, or even, secretologues, basically, you can use those. Your loophole is for clinical trial or for experimental use only, right? Anyway, so back to GW 501516. So yes, it is a glucose inhibitor. So instead of basically using carbs or like glycogen storages for energy, what GW does is it uses your fat as energy primarily. So right away, you're able to use a lot more or burn fat at a higher rate. Now, how does this work and what's it work best with? Well, when you're doing, say, long distance running, say you're doing cardio for hours, competition, stuff like that, you're doing, say, like high interval training, those type of things are really good to use this because it gives you a lot more stamina. Now, from my experience, you're not gonna feel it. I got a lot of people like, man, I don't feel anything. You're not gonna feel anything. It's not a stimulant. It's not like clenbuterol or your fat burning pills, caffeine, whatever. It's not gonna stimulate your heart. And that's what the difference is between this type of fat burner or your stimulants. It's gonna speed up your heart rate. This will not touch your heart rate at all. You won't even feel like it's actually, you'll be like, I don't know if it even works. I don't really feel anything on the treadmill and I don't feel my heart going. Of course I'm not gonna feel it. What you will feel is basically having the ability to go longer than last time. So for example, there was a year, 2016, I was doing a ton of cardio to burn a bunch of fat. So I was doing a lot of cardio. I'm talking like 3 hours of cardio a day. And I remember using it and being like, I remember the first time I actually started using it during that prep, I was already using everything else during that. And then I'm sitting there doing cardio and, like everybody else, when they're doing cardio, they're kind of sitting there, you have your towel over top of the time so you can't see it. And I remember doing this, walking, and then all of a sudden I'm like, no. And then the thing fell off. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I looked at the time said an hour. And I didn't feel like, I felt like I was only on there for like 10 minutes. Then and there, I was like, this stuff is magic. Now, it's not magic. It just basically gave me a lot more stamina to be able to do long periods of cardio. So if you're the type of person who's doing a lot of cardio, needs to burn a lot of fat, this is an amazing fat burner. I will not do a prep without GW. I promise you that. Now, just to give you guys some really good benefits of this and, just not just say, hey man, it's really good for cardio. It's actually pretty good for your body. The benefits of using GW 501516 basically gonna reduce inflammation in your skeletal tissue, increases good LDL cholesterol. So like it's actually gonna help your good cholesterol in your body. Enhances running endurance, we already talked about that. Protection of liver damage and less accumulation of adipose tissue in the blood cells. So we already talked about that and going through that, basically this drug is going to use the fat that's in your blood cells first primarily instead of using the carbohydrates. Makes sense? Fantastic. Now, obviously there's some, side effects to this. And what are the side effects? Well, during clinical studies, why they basically axed this as being a drug used to actually start treating people was because they found cancer in mice. Now, they found cancer in mice because when they do these tests on mice, they're giving them absurd amounts of dosages, more dosages than the human actually takes. So they're giving them like 50 times a dose of GW. Of course, you're gonna get some kind of side effect. You take 50 times anything. So if you're drinking, say, 2 liters of water a day, drink 50 times the amount. Probably gonna have bad effects from just drinking water. So 50 times anything is definitely gonna give you some kind of side effects, obviously. So I wouldn't say like, you know, this is a very dangerous drug whatsoever. I'm saying if you abuse any drug, it's gonna have some side effects. So basically, this kind of segues into dosages. What's a good dosage? Well, I mean, dose for this is like between 10 to 20 milligrams a day. Now you can split those doses up. If you're saying you're taking 20, you can, and you're doing say like 2 times of cardio, or you're doing morning cardio and then you're training at nighttime, you can do 10 milligrams in the morning, 10 milligrams at night, and you won't be up all night. So that's, you know, people are kind of like worried, if I take it at nighttime, am I gonna be able to sleep? You will be able to sleep on Cardine. Again, it's not a stimulant. It's not gonna raise your heart rate up and cause you to stay awake like caffeine does, and you're not gonna crash either. So you're not really even gonna feel it actually work, so to speak. You will see it work, and then you'll kind of notice it work by just the biofeed of your body being able to do a lot more cardio than you've done before. You know, you just want to use that just, you know, to help burn fat, and that's basically it. You can't use GW and then eat in a surplus and hope that it's going to combat you eating in a surplus. Don't try and use GW to fill in the gaps for your overeating. GW, like any other fat burning drug out there, only works when you're in a deficit. It has the best benefits when you're in a deficit. They still work. If I take caffeine, fat burn pills, GW, it's going to work for sure. The body will take it, ingest it, and it'll do its chemical thing. But if I'm not in a deficit, I'm not going to see the full benefits of this drug. So you have to be in a deficit. Don't sit there and be like, oh, I can eat anything and I'll just take some GW and I'll lose a bunch of weight. Doesn't work like that. You might as well just not even use it if you're going to eat in a surplus anyway. So I recommend, if you are going to use this, use it when you're in a deficit. Now, for those of you bodybuilding, any guys, girls, circles, whatever that are doing any shows, GW is an amazing drug to use. But again, don't come out of the gate 16 weeks out, bam, and start using it. I like to use GW during the end of prep. So everything, like in my diet, cardio, it's doing its job. And then when it gets to the point where it's getting a lot harder, like I need a little more stamina, I'm starting to drag ass a little bit, you know, the carbs are low, that's when I want to use GW. Don't use it when you got a bunch of energy, because again, and it's not going to lose its effects. Again, the cool thing about GW is it's not going to lose effects like, say, clenbuterol. If you take clenbuterol, it will start to lose effects. So if I take, say, 25 micrograms of Clen, 25 micrograms of Clen over the span of maybe like 16 weeks will lose its effects as we go down. With GW, it stays the same throughout week to week. So that 10 milligrams that you use is gonna be, that's why I say, if you're gonna use a lower end dose and it's still working, stay there, because you're not gonna lose the effects of it as you go down or as the weeks go by. So, you know, GW is one of those kind of drugs that I like because, again, you don't have to continue to increase the dosages while the weeks go. It's just going to continue to work, right? So there it is, guys. Really simple, simply explained, easily explained. GW 50, 15, 60, or Cardine, guys. Again, do the research, do your own due diligence, and find out yourself about this drug. Don't take my word for it. Don't take whoever's word for it on YouTube or some kind of forum. Make sure you do your own research to actually look at the actual drug and what it does, not the opinions of others. Remember, guys, this is just my opinion backed with facts and experience. That's it. So what I do doesn't mean what's gonna work for me is gonna work for you. So that's why you gotta do what you gotta do on your own, do your own research. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, notification buttons. The next time I put a video, the first ones to get it. For coaching, guys, johnnyshreve.com. Let me get you in the best shape of your life for the rest of your life, guys. Follow me on Instagram at _JohnnyShreve_ and get 20% off at imutant.com by using my code Johnny20 for 20% off. Anyway, guys, more of these videos to come. We'll be talking about RAD next, YK, SR, LGD. Then we're going to get into all of your anabolics and all those things too, guys. So sit back, relax. We're going to get a lot of this good information out to you guys. Easy, explained information for you guys to be able to retain and not have to sit there and like all these big words and like, I don't know what the heck this guy's saying. Guys, super simple, easily explained for you guys. Anyway, till next time, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.